Urban design is certainly oriented to the physical design and form, but also to the context. How do we understand the forces that created what we see today? What happened to that place through time?
We deal with the physical and urban design aspect of city planning.
Right, we're on N.
The Washington Urban Design Studio is an instance where our sponsors' needs and our needs happen to come together.
This studio is really perfect timing because
Our sponsor, in this case, the District of Columbia Office of Planning, said to us, I've got a problem just like the ones that you do in your studios. Could you help me?
you have 25 million visitors coming to the nation's capital every year.
We began by going to the city, meeting with local developers, community members.
It's a mix of office building and residential.
Trying to get an understanding of the area, how it works.
The other thing to consider is how they connect with this part that somehow was left out of the urban renewal.
40 years ago, urban renewal cut its teeth in the area. There were 28,000 people living in Southwest Washington. Their land was reused for middle-income housing and government office buildings and freeways.
The southwest part of DC has been long ignored by the DC people and even by the government.
It's not what you might consider a very attractive place for the city residents to come and enjoy. Part of it is taken by a marina, part of it is taken by these large-scale restaurants that really cater more for tourist buses. And then there's also the connection of the neighborhood itself to the water.
See these things here? Oh, this is it right there. This is the fish market.
What the city has asked us to look at is how the edges and the undeveloped land might be used in a fresh way so as to create benefits that would accrue to existing residents and to the residents of Washington as a whole.
Our first challenge happens to be the size of the site. I mean, it's huge.
The full map is here. We'll put it up so you can...
Some groups are focusing on housing. Other groups are focusing on the waterfront. Another group is looking at Buzzards Point, which is where the Potomac and the Anacostia rivers meet.
Actually, the waterfront is so close to the mall area. It's just been neglected for a long time.
The mall is separated by the highway, so that creates a big divide between the two. How do you connect back into the mall? And if you should, people who live there may not necessarily want to be connected back into the city.
All the big government buildings around the mall, I don't see those places as a place of activity.
Our task is to speculate, perhaps in a way that is freer than the way which a city official might be able to do, and to show what some of their consequences might be.
We came up with a few different proposals on how to manage the traffic through that intersection there. We also talked about having a sort of commercial corridor, pedestrian-oriented but commercial corridor. So
we see it a very challenging job, especially in terms of implementation, because DC never lacks of plans.
First of all, you should feel free to do whatever you want with this bridge.
The only thing DC needs is how to make it happen.
This piece of Washington, with its neighborhood on the one hand.
How do you try and weave the fabric together and create access, to the entire area?
The idea of bringing people in, sometimes to make money from them.
The interesting thing is how you can have people from very different backgrounds working together to achieve a better place for people to live.
Hopefully they will be able to take these plans and actually implement parts that they think are feasible and make it a vibrant part of DC.